Knitters, I'm Jana with Purl Together, and this is our last segment of the Campside Cardigan. You guys have done a great job. It's been a lot of fun to see everybody's sweaters in the groups, so feel free to post pictures in the Facebook group and or the Ravelry group. Don't forget there's a grand prize drawing for finished objects over in the Ravelry thread. You'll want to check that out. The links to those groups are down below in the video description. So before we get started with our very last part, which is blocking and finishing up, I want to give a shout out to my newest patron. Welcome, Sylvia Kenner. Thanks so much for supporting this channel. Patrons help bring videos to you each and every week. So if you're interested in learning how all that works, hop on over to patreon.com/Purl Together. For a small monthly pledge, I offer some perks, so you'll definitely want to go check that out. All right, let's get finished up. So here I've just filled the kitchen sink with a lot of lukewarm water, and I'm just making sure not to agitate anything at all, but just to make sure that everything is covered here. So I'm just going to let this soak 15 to 20 minutes and let the fibers all saturate and bloom, and then I will press all the water out. I'll show you how I'm going to manage that. Okay, I've laid out a couple of beach towels, old beach towels, and I'm just going to take the sweater and arrange it right in the center, and then I'm going to roll up the beach towels and then stand on it to press the water out. All right, I've drained the water from the sweater, and I've just put it in my dish rack, and I just squeezed it gently. I didn't wring it or twist it or anything like that. I just squeezed it like this in place just to get the extra water out, and then I'll put it on the towel. Obviously, my sweater looks like a bit of a mess just now, but I'm going to roll up the towel and then I'll press the water out. I'll show you what I mean. I usually start by just folding over a bit of the towel and then I just roll it. This is hard to do one-handed, but you get the idea. I've rolled the whole thing up inside my double layer of beach towel, and then I'm just going to stand on it and press as much water out as I can. And I know it's working because the bottom of my socks are getting wet. Okay, you'll have to pardon the poor lighting in the bedroom where I'm doing this. So I've just pressed everything out on the blocking mats that I have. I need about twice as many mats as I have, but you get the idea. So you just press everything out and then wait for it to dry. Okay, now I want to show you how I've got everything blocked, and I want to show you how I'm going to go about weaving in ends. Now, as you recall, I have a whole bunch of ends that need to be woven in, but that's because I alternated skeins a whole bunch of times and tried to get the color fade that I wanted. So I'm just going to pick one of these random ends and show you how I'm going to choose to go about weaving them in. Now, since we have a ribbing edge, I could just go, up through here where I've picked up the stitches. I could totally do that. I could also try to go in underneath this ridge right here and weave it this way if you want. You can try different things and see what you notice on the other side and what works best for you. I'm going to do some duplicate stitch, and just for the sake of demonstrating how that's going to go. Now this edge is apparently caught underneath here, so I might take that out. Because the point of that is I want to weave this in with a color that kind of matches what I have going on there. So I want to pick a row that matches the tone of the tail that I have. So what I'm going to do is go in underneath right here, and I'm going to actually take it through all the way to the other side, because I think it's easier to do duplicate stitch from the right side of my work, so I can see what's going on. Okay, so you can see where this is coming out. And I think what I'd like to do is just go up here, and I'm going to follow this stitch around like that, and then I'm going to go back down where the other one is. So you're literally just tracing over the top of an existing knit stitch. So you can see that's the one I've just done, and I'll even out the tension of that, and I'm going to come back up and follow along this next stitch on the same row. So let me get this started, and I'll show you which one I'm aiming to trace over here. That one right there. And I'm going to go follow the V of that, and it's going to go through these two legs right here. And I'm literally just tracing the stitch that's already there and going down right there. So I hope you can see that pretty well. Let's do another one. So I'm going to come right back up. I'm going to trace this stitch up through these two legs and come right back down. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to go through these two legs right here and come down right there. So I'm just going to continue to do that for a few stitches. I've accidentally pulled my needle out there, but that's all right. And you can tell, once I even out my tension, you can't tell that that's even happened. All right, let's do that again. I've got another one here that I've brought to the front, and I've picked a spot to bring it up through. And now this letter colored yarn you might be able to see a little bit easier. I'm just going to go in through these legs, and I'm holding this actually upside down compared to the direction of knitting, but as long as you follow your stitches, it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so I've gone through those two legs, and I'm going to bring that right back down here and go through these bottom two. And I'm just going to carry on like this, tracing over the row that I want to hide it on. So I hope that makes sense. Now again, there's many different ways that you can choose to weave in your tails. I like this method because it's secure and it doesn't show. Now, another thing you can do if you want to, if you have the confidence that your yarn is all the same tone, another thing you can do is you can just pick some purl bumps and kind of run it up through diagonally like that. And then I always like to go and check and make sure nothing shows on the other side, particularly if your yarn is a little bit different tone than those stitches you just ran it through. All right, thanks everybody for joining me for this knit along. It's been a ton of fun, and another big shout out to Alicia for designing a fantastic pattern, especially if this was your first cardigan. I look forward to seeing everybody's finished objects. Post pictures, I love to see them. And if you're being so kind, if you post your pictures on Instagram or on Facebook, tag me so I can be sure to see them. If you find these videos helpful, give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.